I don't know if we're going live because it doesn't look the same. I think we're here. And we have the green light thing that says, oh yeah, the mic is working. Hopefully we will continue to have a camera that keeps recording. I think you pulled up something different than what you meant to pull up.
Yes, I did.
And JB is clicking things. We'll be right with you.
Yeah. All right, go ahead. Let's get it started, and then I'll finish up.
Okay, hello.
Hi.
Kayla Lords.
John Brownstone.
Of Loving BDSM, where we help kinksters like you have happy, healthy power exchange relationships. This is our weekly live stream where we record our podcast, the audio version of which hits all major podcast apps every Friday. We are here by the computer time 5 minutes early. If you are here for the live stream and you don't like idle chit chat, you got a few minutes to go do something else. If you were here after the live stream, but before I put in timestamps, and you don't like idle chit chat, fast forward by about 5 minutes. I never say this, but if you are here and there are timestamps, just go to the timestamp you want if you don't want the idle chit chat. Okay. Yeah, it was auto coming up before, wasn't it? Okay.
Yes, it was. There we go.
JB's got this nice little box that'll come up and let him see the chat.
There we go.
So
without having to use my phone or my iPad like I used to.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. There it is.
But it doesn't auto pop up anymore.
No.
So.
Yeah, it started auto when we first upgraded to it. It started automatically loading, and now I have to go hunt for it.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's some kind of button you could push.
I'm sure.
I'm going to say hello to folks now that
okay.
We've
been validated.
I know. That does work. I'm very grateful for that. Hi, Silent. Hi, Kitty. Hi, Kim. Hi, Claire. Claire, I responded to your email. If you didn't get it, check your spam. Hi, Base Eats. Hi, Molly. Oh, there's no occasion. Last week, I actually did it last week, but I did a very subtle lipstick, and I think the eyes were more subtle last week, too. I just felt like it. I'd gotten a couple of mini, they're called cushion foundations if you're not familiar with them, from Yes Style like a couple months ago, and they'd just been sitting on my vanity collecting dust, and I finally went, you're exfoliated and moisturized, try this out. And I actually liked how something looked, and so then I went, yeah, maybe I'll put makeup on again, and I will until I just damn well don't feel like it anymore, I guess. But it looks good in person. The nice thing is about being on camera is I can wear some like absolute trash makeup and it'll usually mostly look okay for the camera. But this actually looks nice in person. Now, am I getting the urge to put makeup on right at the time when Florida weather will try to melt this makeup off my face? Yes. I don't understand that either. So at some point I will decide, no, I don't want to do this, and then I won't. But until then, thank you, Kim. It feels weird to do it because it's been so long. I don't know. Hi, Andre. Yeah, I actually, 6 months ago, more or less, I got rid of the makeup that I'd had for literal years that had definitely been kept way longer than you're really supposed to keep makeup. I still have makeup that's way too old I should not be putting on anywhere near my face. But I got rid of the stuff that I definitely was not using and just felt like pressure. And now, because it was used, it's not like I could donate it or anything. But it does mean I don't have colorful eyeshadow. And I am a little sad about that. But I'm not in a space where I'm going to buy a lot of makeup. So I got what I got.
I'm glad I don't have that problem.
It's colloquially known as the pink tax. All the extra money you spend to be a woman. Pink tax. So the term originates from the fact that there are products that will be manufactured exactly the same, but marketed for men, for women. The pink one, that's always for the girls, will be more expensive. Like the example I remember seeing several years ago was razor blades, like disposable razors. They'd have the same amount of blades in them. They'd be same company, essentially the same, just slightly different color. The air quote girl one was always more expensive. Yeah, one of the hacks that the internet taught me years ago that I don't do, but it is a hack, is the person was like, I don't buy anything marketed for women. If there's an equivalent in the air quote men's area, I buy that and it's cheaper. So big tax.
Yeah. Talking about razors, those stupid things have become so expensive.
Yeah, in general for everybody.
I am grateful I've gone back to the single edge. And it's doing it for me.
Yup. Yeah, Silent, I was doing better at replacing my mascara regularly, and then I just stopped wearing makeup, and this is old mascara, and I should be careful. I do not want to get some sort of eye infection, but I'd have to go to the store to purposely go buy some mascara. And I don't know.
It's enough that I have to put eye drops in Lola's eye 4 times a day. I don't want to have to do yours.
And you would have to, because I could
you couldn't
never.
do it, right?
I could not do it.
I know. It would fall on me to do it.
I could not do it.
I don't need extra eye drops.
No.
To drop.
Okay, so I don't know if the computer is actually correct, but it says it's 3:01, so we'll officially get started.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Okay, as you can tell from the title of the stream, video, whatever, we're going to talk about this, I think very common feeling of every once in a while feeling disconnected from your partner. What some of the causes and some things you can do about it from our experience. So that's what we're talking about. If you enjoy this, we'd love a thumbs up. If you like it enough to want to come back for more, please consider subscribing.
And ring that notification bell to get updates of new content.
I do not know what YouTube says at the moment of the stream, and then at the moment whoever you are watching this and can hear me say this. But right before we went live, we were at 12,000 subscribers flat. Now, people fall off and come back on, back and forth. I don't know what it's sitting at this second, but right before we went live, we finally hit 12,000. It's very exciting. So, yay! Okay. Yeah, I think that's all I got.
Now, as for the video feed.
Let's warn everybody about the video feed.
I have been trying to find out what is causing the disconnect between the camera and the software. And I've not found it yet. So, it might happen.
Yeah. If it happens like it happened last week, you can still hear us, and as soon as we see that it's gone dark, JB will start doing whatever magic he does.
Yeah. To get it back.
Right. So just bear with us.
Yeah.
Okay. You can hit the magic button.
And one magic button.
Okay, before we get into this week's topic, I have an announcement. I'm very excited about this. It's, I think now our 3rd or 4th year of this. Don't ask me, I'll know I don't remember time.
It's been a hot minute.
Registration is now open for your free, Free, free ticket to the 2026 Dom Sub Dynamics Virtual Summit hosted by Alessandra of Dom Sub Living. It is March 23rd through the 26th. There's 20 speakers, 20 sessions on all different facets of kink life. Going off the top of my head, Evie has a session on creating an actual genuine protocol for anybody who's like, what the hell is a protocol and how do I get one? That would be a session to attend. Rara's got one on when your scene goes sideways, because it will eventually. If it hasn't happened yet, your time is coming.
Murphy will catch up to you.
Andrew Gerza will be speaking, and it looks like it's like both sides of the slash for Dom Sub, but about kink and disability. So for folks who are like, I need to know more about that, our session is on dealing with conflict, something we're very familiar with. The link is in the places, and it truly is free. If you register for free, you will have 24 hours for each session to watch them, so you don't have to watch them right as they kind of go live for the first time. There will be an upgrade option to pay for a VIP pass, which gives you longer access to the sessions and other goodies. If you've got the budget for that, I love that for you, because there's, I think, some really good fucking shit in it, because one of them is something we contributed. But if you don't have the budget and you're like, free 99 is all I got, I feel you. I feel you. We were specifically told to design these sessions where you could watch it and walk away with something you could do, something you could try, something that you maybe didn't know before. So you don't have to spend money to get value. Okay. Just want you to know that. So link below, Dom Sub Dynamics Virtual Summit. If you are on our email list, you're going to hear about it a lot. But we will keep talking about it while registration is open. Hope that you can and will go watch and learn something new. I only gave a little like taste of what the sessions are. Use the link just to go see what different sessions there are. So yeah, do that. I'm very excited. Give you a little inside baseball. The max amount of time a session, because they're pre-recorded, is supposed to be is 30 minutes. And it has been my goal since we started this to maybe get to like 20 minutes. No, every time we record an hour of content that then I have to edit down to 30 minutes. And when did the video editing software that I was trying to use for many years stop working? While I was editing that video. But I got it working and we hit the mark 30 minutes. So click the link, go look around. If you would like to attend, go ahead and register. It is free. Okay. That is my announcement. Yay! So, this week's topic came to me literally as I was sort of kind of about to drift off last night. Because I was like, what can we talk about? Like, you and I have been in a fairly decent place individually and together. And oftentimes when topics come up, it's because that's what the hell we're dealing with. And then I started thinking about feeling connected and feeling disconnected. And I went, oh, surely we've done that episode before. And then I went searching and could not find anything specific. So if we've done it, it's so deep in the archives, even I can't find it. 476 episodes later, that is possible. But it's time. We have talked about over the years many times feeling disconnected, reconnecting. We did that just a couple weeks ago when we were answering like random, silly, ridiculous questions as a method of reconnection. So let's talk about that feeling, because you probably have done nothing wrong in your relationship. If it happens, I think it's like conflict. It's inevitable. That disconnected thing is going to happen. So let's talk about some reasons that it happens. These, of course, will not be every reason. We can't possibly. It's impossible to do that. But these are things that we have plenty of experience with. And then we'll talk about the reconnection, because the disconnection is not necessarily the end of the world. It's not necessarily the worst thing that can happen. But if you don't reconnect, once you kind of realize that something maybe is a little off, that's going to be detrimental. That does not make for a happy, healthy power exchange relationship. So that's what we're going to talk about. So I made a list of the reasons I could think of, and I'm sure if you think of others, we will add to this. Here's some reasons you might get disconnected from your partner. You don't have when you don't make time for one another. You get lost in your own little world. And sometimes this is benign stuff. I know this has happened to us because I still remember the one time you mentioned it to me, and now I am conscientious of it. No. So we live in a digital age. We've got smartphones. Many of us are doom scrolling. There was a time, I think it was like peak stressful times, where every time we got in the car, it was like the only 10 minutes I had to like just me, myself, and I, even though I was in a car with my family who loves me, and I would immediately go on my phone every time. And JB finally had to go. And it's fine when it's like a car full of people, but when it was just the two of us and we were trying to go off and like be together, he had to go, hey, you're spending an awful lot of time on your phone, and I'm feeling a little neglected over here. I'm glad he said something. That's one of the first things to deal with disconnection is communication. But it can be as benign as that, where you're just like, oh God, I finally got a few minutes. But your partner's sitting over there going, hello, I'd like to have a conversation with you. That does go the other way. JB with his hearing aids, when he's listening to something on his phone, it's in his
It's
head.
in my head, so she doesn't know that I'm actually watching or listening to something.
And has this an amazing ability to focus unmedicated. What the fuck's that about? And so he's like, I am listening to something, and I could just do that. And I'm over here going, hey. And if we don't talk about it, or if I'm in a grumpy mood, that can be this small little point of disconnect, especially if it, air quote, feels like. Sometimes it really is happening all the time, and sometimes it just feels like it, but it's not. If it feels like it's happening over and over again. Other times, work. I know I've done this in the past, and I still kind of do it. I'll work 12, 14-hour days sometimes because it needs to happen, because I don't know what else to do with myself, because I'm stressed, and all I know what to do when I'm stressed is to keep fucking going. And one of you is working really hard, and the other one's like, but I thought we were going to watch that show on Netflix. We've been talking about it, and I was sitting here on the couch waiting on you. And it's not a one-time thing. It's when it happens repeatedly, consistently, not even constantly, just often enough, long enough, with no talking about, hey, can we make more time for one another? You know, I'm feeling disconnected. I don't feel quite as connected as usual. That's I think extremely common, because people have very busy lives, and this entire world is stressful, and so just pick a corner of the world that stresses you the fuck out, and it's easy to sort of neglect other things in a if I focus on this thing, maybe something else won't feel so bad, or maybe I won't be so worried about something, or maybe all I can focus on is the thing I'm worried about, and I'm forgetting that I've got a partner, I've got this, I've got that, right? So, can you think of any other examples?
Well, I was going to say, for me, you know, I can get in my own head when it comes to work. Or
yes, you can.
Kind of almost anything, really.
Yes. And you and I have, y'all would think this wouldn't happen, because we work together, live together, are together 24/7. But we can be working on our own things and go sometimes days without bringing it back to center of like, what are you working on? Do you need my help? What's happening here? What's going on there? And it's fine every once in a while. It's fine. I could take a few days of us being really busy, but if we don't make a point
but when it
to come back
happens
together,
too often,
right, that's when it becomes a problem. I notice when I'm feeling disconnected, I get very cranky.
Yes.
What do you think you do when you're feeling disconnected?
I get grumpy and quiet.
Yes. Thank you. Grumpy and quiet Yes. That's what it is. So here's another thing that I put down on the list of what causes disconnection. Stress.
Oh, yeah.
And y'all know stress comes from a lot of different angles, right? What stresses me out might not stress you out, but the stress of whatever, because what it does is it often you'll withdraw from your partner, or you'll withdraw from the things that you enjoy doing, or in an effort to kind of self-soothe with your stress, you'll go in a direction and you sort of block everybody and everything else out to do this thing. You know, it might be playing video games. It might be doom scrolling. Not gonna lie, it can be me reading a book, and reading a book sounds so benign, but if you are doing it to the detriment of everything around you in an effort to just pretend the world does not exist. But also, stress can make you snap at people. It can make you grumpier than you usually are. And so then you're just biting heads off left, right, and center. And your baby girl is like, hey, I'm not Gristle over here. Why are you biting my head off? It makes me feel unloved. Okay? That works if you happen to have a baby girl in your life who can clearly communicate her needs. But anyway, whatever. So stress has a lot of different ways it can cause the disconnect. JB is very snappy when he's stressed. I am too, quite frankly. Yeah. Now, here's the thing with Power Exchange, where I find that one sort of interesting. This will not be true universally. I know that. But in our Power Exchange, the way we've negotiated it, and the way I am as a submissive, I really like having rules that I can fucking follow, as long as I like the rules. Because the rule is I'm not supposed to speak disrespectfully, right? And so I modulate my tone and my demeanor when I'm thinking about it, regardless of how I'm actually feeling. And that's probably a good thing. Sometimes the stress is too great and I can't do it. And I too am snappy. Here's the thing I've noticed that can both create a disconnect and create an imbalance and even sometimes resentment, because we've had to have conversations like this. Yes, the rule goes both ways about speaking respectfully to one another, but I'm the only one who can be put in a fucking corner, right? And I'm over here trying to be a good fucking girl, and so I don't want to go in the corner. I don't like that, okay? But what'll happen is JB doesn't have to think about it as a dom the way that I have to think about it as a submissive, right? So I could be eaten up with stress and will be very cautious with my tone because I'm that type of person. Not everybody is like that. JB, and I think probably other doms out there, don't really have to think about that. And so that stress is there, that tone will come out. Now, I've gotten better at going, whoa, 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 what's happening? But that little bit of unintentional imbalance can increase the stress. I know this episode's not about conflict. Clearly, I have conflict on the brain. Damn 30-minute session coming up. It can increase the conflict, but all those things also create disconnect. So if he's stressed more than I'm stressed, or if his stress is showing more than mine is showing, and he's snapping at me what feels like a lot, and I'm over here working very hard not to snap, it can become its own separate issue. I only say that not to make him feel bad, because he's fine, we're fine, it's all good. But for doms out there to be mindful of that, of how you're responding when you are under stress and duress, and what your expectations of your submissive are, and if they are not allowed to do a thing you are doing under stress, I want you to be mindful of your own behavior at that point. Because now you're adding to potential disconnect simply because basic, like, rules of decorum are not even between the two of you, if that makes sense.
Yes.
I'm not being overly harsh.
Nope.
Right? Okay, cool.
Nope, you're fine.
Here's another one, because
Okay.
we've gone through it. We've gone through it.
Yeah.
Illness, injury, pain.
Yeah.
Chronic or acute.
Yeah. And not necessarily even your own.
There is that.
Taking care of somebody.
Yep. Yeah, every time you get sick, by the time we're several days into it, maybe you're on the mend, but it's not quite there. Or maybe you're better, but it doesn't matter. It's been a week of whatever. I'm like, can you please hold my hand? I love you. I missed you. I know I slept next to you for a week. Please hold my hand. I feel very disconnected.
Yeah.
Because, when you're sick, when you're in pain, when there's an injury, depending on what it is, you are either going inward to heal, right? You've got these meds, you've got a cast, you've got a whatever. Or if it's chronic, you're doing what you have to do to manage it, right? So you can hopefully function a little bit. And those kinds of things are very inward looking for many people much of the time, which means it's harder to maintain a connection because you're like, I'm over here trying to survive. That's all I'm doing right now. And that's nobody's fault. That's nobody's fault. Now, injury, illness, pain, whatever, can also be a stress. So you've got the fact that you do not feel good, and then the stress about whatever that means in your life, right? And now you've compounded.
That compounds, because when you're not feeling well, if you're having pain, then add on top of that however many doctor's visits.
I know. And tests.
And tests.
And meds.
Yeah.
And waiting. Yeah. We're living a little bit of that now. And you live with chronic pain with your back anyway. Yeah. Now add to pain with your arthritis in your hand. And in many cases, there's not a fucking thing you can do in that situation. In some of these situations, you just can't. You have to get through it, right? When the one of you who is not the one who's ill, injured, in pain, whatever, to the best of your ability, and I know we are all imperfect creatures, keeping your good humor, maybe not in an annoying way. You know your partner, right? Like, there's times he can be grumpy polar bear because he don't feel good, and I can be silly and it'll bring him out. And sometimes I cannot. But I understand after all these years, and it's taken me a long time to get here, that I can maintain a connection with him of a sorts by just being there, by realizing it's not personal. I mean, if you were to say something that was rude to me, that would be different. That'll be the next one on this list.
Sorry, folks.
But, you know, I know for me as the outside looking in on these, there is a feeling of helplessness, of that there's nothing I can do. You know, there's nothing I can do to fix it. You kind of got to go through it. And all I can sort of do is go, how can I help? What do you need? If the answer is for you to leave me alone for a little while, that's a hard one, but you do have to respect it. But I can kind of do some things to sort of maintain some of the connection on my end. So there's still a kind of disconnect once you get through whatever the moment is. But it's not like it's not one of those where you're both kind of going, do we even like know each other? Like, when's the last time we had a conversation? It doesn't have to feel that way. And then the last one I had on my list, conflict that's not fully resolved. Maybe you had the argument, maybe you talked about it, maybe you were like, okay, here's what we're going to do going forward, or here's the solution to this problem of why there was conflict. But if it's not fully resolved, maybe there's still some hurt feelings, maybe there's still some concern of it occurring again, like whatever it might be. Yeah, I'm not going to be surprised if you're feeling disconnected. We went through from the 2020 to 2021 era through 2024 into 2025, right? We were like rolling conflicts. We were rolling argument, and we would deal with the moment, but the reason we argue with one another tends to be stress, and it tends to be financial stress. We're a lot better about it than we used to be. Prior to that, it was parenting. We were way better at that than we used to be. And if the stressor that's causing the argument is not going away, it is very hard for the conflict to get resolved. Because you carry your own feelings with that, you know, whatever it was. I'll use us as the example because it's the only one I got. We'd argue about money, and not like one of us was spending too much or one of us was being irresponsible. We actually always agreed on what we wanted the end result to be. Right. We were usually arguing about how the hell we were going to get there. But if that was a situation, like how we were going to pay this bill or what we were going to do about this thing that demanded money of us that we didn't really fucking have, right? That issue might come up again every fucking month, which meant that potential conflict was coming up every month. And until we could both resolve the issue so we could get through it and resolve the conflict between us so that we could remember we actually liked one another and it was not him against me, it was us against the problem,
right? That
would be a little unresolved, and it was very easy to get disconnected from one another in that situation. Sometimes the conflict's not resolved because you didn't have the conversation. You should attend our session during the summit. I'm just saying, we did a whole 30 minutes on this. But you know, sometimes it's because you didn't communicate, you didn't actually resolve it. Sometimes it's because you said everything, it was okay, and everything wasn't. And sometimes you did all of that, but then you forgot to like go be nice to one another when you were done. Like, okay, we had this moment and we were really heated with one another and we've talked about it and we've figured out what the solution is and we've got plans for the future and blah, 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 blah. But did we like go sit together and do something together as people who love one another, right? Like, did we have a kink scene? Did we go on a date? You know, whatever it is that you can do as with a partner, did you go do that thing to have the reconnection of, hey, wait, I actually like this person and they like me and we're actually happy here. So, and quite frankly, doing that after you resolve the conflict, nobody's angry anymore, and you've talked through it and you've dealt with it, is a great way to reconnect after conflict. Are there any that you would add to that list that you can think of?
No, not really. I think that's...
I'm very proud of me then.
Yeah.
For this being a fever dream from 11 o'clock last night. Right? I'm going to interrupt myself real quick to say, can we turn on the magic mystery fan that only runs in the summer in this office? I'm sweltering.
Okay. Give me a moment and I shall return.
I will keep things going.
Okay.
While you do that. We did not plan for that. I thought I could make it. I could not make it. So, I'm going to add a section that I didn't put in my notes, but I think it is important. I probably should have started with that, but whatever. I'm so excited for this fan to come on, y'all. It's not going to do much. It's going to spew warm air into a warm room, but I'll take it. I will take it. Now, the roar that you hear, the gentle roar, that's the fan. I have a thought for how to cool this office down this summer, but if my thought can come to fruition, it still won't happen while we're streaming/recording because I think it would be too loud. I think I want to try to get one of those portable, like, stand-up AC units. You can just plop in a room to kind of get it to cool down. But we shall see. That's my dream. I mentioned it to JB and he was not convinced. Not because it's not a good idea, but because he's like, can we? We'll see.
What dream is that?
To get the stand-up portable AC unit just for this office and have it blow. Even though I don't think we could use it while we were recording. I have a feeling they're kind of loud. Unless newer ones are quiet. I don't know.
If that's something we'd have to...
I've never owned one. Yeah. Okay, I'm going back to my notes. Now I'm going to add a section here. It's just telling them, we probably should have started here. Because pretend we know what the hell we're doing. And that is what disconnect can feel like. Because for some people, I think you know it when it happens. And for others, you're like, well, how the hell do I know if I'm disconnected? I can only tell you what it feels like for me. Okay. And hopefully JB will tell you what it feels like for him. Disconnect for me is a very unsettled feeling. So I'm very settled in this relationship. I'm very secure. I'm very, safe. I know my place. I know how JB feels. I know where we stand together. At all times, there's never a doubt. When we are disconnected, even though it's not true, and it's a lie that my lying brain tells me, I don't feel secure. I feel like we haven't talked in ages. Y'all, we live together, work together, sleep together, shit together, like we do all the things together. And even I can be like,
all together now.
Have we had a conversation and it doesn't take much for me to feel that way. We can go like a day or two outside of our normal patterns and I'm like, I'm feeling disconnected. But longer with stress or illness or this or that, and it's even worse. Disconnect feels to me very unsettled. I notice when I'm feeling disconnected from you that I don't read you as well as I usually do. Usually I know what your facial expressions mean. I can tell when that tone is cranky versus when I'm allowed to tease you. Yeah. I have, and this is probably sounds very woo-woo. I'm sorry, I don't have anything concrete. I have a sense of your headspace, where you're at and how I can approach you.
And that is something that goes both ways. Okay, because 9 times out of 10 I can read you and tell where you're at and what you're thinking, but when that disconnect comes, it's that none of that is there.
Another way disconnect shows up for me is I feel like I miss you. Y'all, we are literally together all the time. Yes, you can miss somebody who's in the same room with you. Like, it is possible, and it's a lack of connection. Yeah. For folks who do not live together, don't see one another very often, long distance, whatever, I think you can, some of those feelings will feel that way because you don't get to be together a lot. And so that's a little bit of the struggle of determining, is this because I miss them and maybe they're having a very busy life right now? Or is this, we're not communicating like we usually do, we're not as close as we usually are? Some signs could be, but not necessarily, because there's extenuating circumstances and fewer phone calls, text messages, however you communicate, less of it, with no explanation for sure. And even with an explanation, because here's the thing, you can understand the reason why you're not in touch with your partner as much as you would like to be, and still and fully understand and be supportive. Like, they got a big work thing, they're traveling, they got a this, they got a that. You can know exactly why they're not talking as much, you're not doing whatever, and still feel the disconnect as part of the, hey, wait, our routine's messed up, or I don't hear from you as much. But for folks who may not be certain, like, is this? I think there are patterns you can see that might be causing the disconnect. Have you had some conflict that you're good with, but maybe you're like, maybe my partner's not okay with it? Are they very stressed and or busy? Do they have an illness or a chronic condition or something that's flaring up, right? Like, the more you can know about a partner's life, even if you all don't live together, you're not in the same town, you don't see each other very often, the more you can kind of go, oh, I think I know what's happening here. But even knowing what's happening does not always change the fact that the disconnect will still happen. I think when I know why it's happening, it feels easier to reconnect.
Mm-hmm.
It's when I don't know where it came from and why that
it makes it harder.
Right. But I also feel the disconnect even more when I don't know what the hell's going on. I just know that we are, drifting parallel to one another instead of God, don't anybody make this episode a drinking game of how many times I fucking say connect. Oh my God. That's called alcohol poisoning. Any other signs you can think of?
No.
Some signs that maybe your partner is disconnected or disconnecting. When you do talk, it's not the same. Are they shorter with you? Is it less? Are they usually somebody who's giving you all the details and you don't have to pull information out of them? And now they're not? Now, let's be real. That could be signs of other stuff too. But quite frankly, a disconnect, that feeling that you might get in a relationship with somebody, regardless of the flavor of the relationship, can only be repaired and have a reconnect if the person actually wants that. And if the disconnect is because they are doing things that they're not telling you about, that's a larger problem. We don't want to reconnect to those folks. We want to connect to the ones who want to be there with us. Okay. So, if something is abrupt or if it's been going on a long time, or your efforts, like when we start talking about ways to reconnect, your efforts, nothing's actually happening. That is probably the sign of something larger that requires a little bit more investigation, and going on a silly little date is probably not going to fix. But I did think we should slip in the what does disconnection feel like part. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about reconnection, because that's the most, I think that feeling is very, very common. It's going to happen for a million and one reasons. So many things I can't even think of why it would happen. And the same for how to reconnect, because it's going to be unique to the people and your personalities and what works for y'all. But that is the important part. If this is a power exchange worth salvaging and you both are like, no, we want to be here, we like one another, I don't know what's happening, then finding the different ways for the different situations. We have the ones I listed are and there's not that many things because they are broad topics. Not every moment of that disconnect is resolved the same exact way, because it depends on the reason for it.
Right.
Yeah. So the more things you can think about and think of that work with your partner, the more tools you have to pull from when it's time. I will say, if only one of you is ever trying to make sure you're reconnected, I'm not sure that's fair. I think that's worth a conversation. Sometimes it's just not a skill a partner has. Like, there's some things they do really well that you don't, and this is a thing you do really well. But I also think it can be a recipe for potential resentment, because if you are always the one working on this, always the one bringing your partner back, always going, hey, something's a little off, hey, can we work on it, and that's not being reciprocated in some way that works for you, that's worth a conversation. But JB he's a man of few words, we know. He is subtle in the stuff he does. Not me. You could see me coming in the dark, okay? There's not a subtle fucking thing about me. So I didn't always recognize the times when he was trying to reconnect until I learned about one of the things we're going to talk about. And then I went, oh, and now I see it a lot now. So you also have to understand how your partner, I'm going to say air quotes, speaks to you, that what they do to get back to you and to find the center with the two of you in your relationship. Yeah. So there's that as well. Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, I know for me, I've gotten to a point now when a lot of times when there's that disconnect, I will come up to you and I will say, "You okay?"
I know. And you want to know what? That's a great thing to do. It's the very first thing. Communicate, which I know is the boring answer, but here we go. And I'll tell you, for me, everybody's going to be different about this. That is a perfect thing for you to do. I do the same thing to you. But we're all a little weird, right? We're all wired differently.
That's true.
If I am caught in the not right moment, and right not being a wrong moment, not being a bad moment, but just like my mind wasn't there.
Yeah.
I don't even always know how to answer that. Sometimes I'm like, I wasn't even thinking about this. What? I have to try and figure it out. Now, the magic thing is to go, can I get back to you on that? Like, can we talk about this later? Because what I'm going to do, if I'm not prepared or wasn't thinking about it, it wasn't top of mind, my answer is always going to be, I don't know. I'm sure I'm fine, which is not always the real answer.
Right. And then sometimes I don't say a word, and I'll just wait for the opportunity to present itself, and I'll walk up and give you a hug.
Yeah.
And hug you.
You do a lot more of that. The other ones I've noticed is you'll touch my butt more. You'll touch the small of my back. I don't know why I love that. I just fucking love that. Which is funny because if anybody remembers from a million years ago, our love languages episodes, I'm not a touch person. Like, I'm usually like, I got a bubble, 3 feet of personal space. But knowing how you feel about touch has made me more mindful over the years. Now, these little things we're talking about are not specifically for reconnection, but they are a way to maintain connection in any relationship, and it's called a bid for connection. So that's a concept that the Gottmans, we've talked about them many episodes recently, came up with. They were doing research. They've done research on it's married people, and I have a feeling probably earlier in their career, it was all heterosexual marriages. I do not know what mix of marriages they study now. I have not looked into that, but over all these decades where they've studied relationships, long-term relationships, and marriage specifically, the thing that they have said that can, in the case of marriage, predict divorce, but in any relationship, power exchange included, probably predict a breakup if we're not talking divorce. It's not the big stuff. It's not how often you fight. It's bids for connection and how often or not often partners reciprocate. So a bid for connection is anything that gets you to pay attention to one another. That's what a bid for connection is. It can be asking for attention, asking for affirmation, asking for affection, any positive connection that one partner kind of puts out there to their partner and how that partner responds. Supposedly the research shows that long-term happy couples, married couples specifically, but I'm sure this is transferable, they complete bids for connection like 86% of the time, and couples who end up breaking up 33% of the time. Now, a bid for connection can be as small and as subtle as a smile, that you smile at your partner and they catch it and they smile back. A wink. It can be questions like, how was your day today? So you have put the bid of connection out there and asked that question, and your partner hears the question and is willing to respond, right? It's just all the little ways, the coming up to give me a hug, the asking, is everything okay? How are you doing? Some examples I see online is like, oh, look out the window. I saw the coolest bird today. And your partner going, oh, really? You did? I have a feeling relationships of any flavor that have any way, shape, or form of success are successful now, are new, and could become successful. You are doing these things and you are not naming them, and you're just engaged with the other person. You're like, I found this cool rock and you were the person I want to show the cool rock to. You know what I mean? I think in kink we have a layer that non-kink couples won't have, where there's also ooh, I learned about this new kink thing today, or ooh, I thought about this scene I'd like to try. What do you know, right? So like we get to add a flavor that's more than just how was your day at work, or what did you do today, or, you know, hey, I remember that you said you were feeling sick, how are you, you know, these kinds of things. A couple of the examples I put on my notes was a smack on the ass, a consensual, pleasurable smack on the ass, asking your opinion on something. What do you think of? Or I heard about this thing. What do you know about it? What do you think? Have, you know, that's all bits for connection.
Or, you know, just reaching, giving a hair pull.
That do it. See, I'm about to cut the hair, and I'll maybe have a ponytail. It makes me a little sad now. So it's when one partner, in an overt way or a very subtle way, kind of reaches out metaphorically, sometimes physically, to your partner, and your partner sees it and responds. Does it require big responses? It could be small things. It could be a shared smile across the room, right? In order to try to stay connected, you want these to just be happening. And it's, you know, it should not add pressure to anybody. If you are not asking your partner, how was your day? How do you feel? Or, hey, I read about, heard about a cool thing I want to share with you, right? If you're not already doing that, I mean, I got questions for the relationship, right? Maybe it's a more casual one, maybe, you know, whatever, but it goes back to, in power exchange, I really think you need to genuinely like the other person as a friend before we're real worried about if they're going to be your dom or sub, because what the fuck is there to talk about outside of that if you don't actually like each other? But whatever, different strokes for different folks, okay? So I think many of us are doing these things naturally. You're just, you know, thinking of your partner, sharing bits of your life with your partner. I think that's like healthy relationship stuff. Sure. If you need a sign that there's a disconnect, it's when you're like throwing the bid out there and it's not being caught in the room with me, even when he's physically in the room with me, because I could try to talk to him and I don't get a response. And that's not like we talked about earlier, he's listening to something on his phone and I don't know that because the hearing aids are inside his head, right? It's his mind is on other things, and if I'm not like waving like a mad woman in front of him, I don't have his attention. If that happens too many times in a row, and it can happen, he can get like off in his own world, and I'm not doing the right thing to get his attention enough times in a row of that bid for attention, like hitting a brick wall, even though I know what's happening logically, my feelings will be hurt. Well, now once feelings are hurt, it's easy to walk away, and a little bit of the disconnect has begun at that point. Now, I've gotten better because I know that I'm safe to do this. I'm very secure in my, you know, submission and in this relationship. If I feel it and I recognize what I'm feeling, I'm real quick to go, hey, this is what happened. It wasn't your fault, but I didn't like it, and here's how I feel now. And we sort it out. The thing that I have realized is important as a way to not have your partner's bid for connection bounce back at them like a tennis ball. It's when I do. And once I realized what needed to be done, I do it more often. Put your damn phone down. Okay, unless it is a communication device you need to communicate with your partner, put the damn thing down when your partner's talking to you. I'm telling you right now, JB's attitude with me improved. He doesn't even know. Improved dramatically. When he caught my attention to show me the cool rock he found, or to ask how I was feeling, or to smile at me, or whatever the bid was, when I paused what I was doing on my phone, or I put it face down and I gave him my attention. It is very easy, especially in long-term relationships where you're very comfy with one another, to kind of be scrolling and go, and keep going.
Yeah.
enough of that, you're now disconnected. Those bids of connection are not being caught by the other person because the focus isn't on you, the one with the cool rock. I really like that rock thing. I think somebody needs me to bring me a cool rock is what I'm hearing. And now we're in this 86% versus 33% like margin, right? And you got to be careful of that. Once I understood that needed to happen, quite frankly, here's what happened. I learned about bids for connection. I saw often enough that it stuck in my brain because y'all know at this point in my life, I need to hear it many times for it to stick in my brain. And then JB, this happened after, but it was all kind of connected. I learned about bids for connection after JB, not just in the car situation, but a couple other times went, I don't feel like you're paying attention to me. And he was not wrong. I was not paying attention. And I think I came at it from a submissive perspective of, I'm not giving my daddy the attention and respect he deserves through the lens of power exchange, but just through the lens of relationships making it. Just if they're trying to tell you something, connect with you, and especially when you know you don't have a good way of splitting your focus, as long as you are physically able to put the phone down. Now, that is a funny thing in our relationship because I'll be watching, it's usually a YouTube video. I'll be watching a YouTube video and JB will come talk to me. So I will pause it and I will give him my full attention because that's a respectful thing to do. And he'll stop talking and he'll walk away and I will start my video again. And then he will turn around with another thought. And because I'm conscious of this now, I will pause my video and I will give him my full attention. And he'll talk for like 30, 45 seconds. And then he will walk away. And so I'm like, I'm safe. I'll play my video again.
No. You know what? I forgot. And then there's...
By the first 2 times, he doesn't usually clock what's happening, how often I'm having to pause. By the 3rd to the 4th, and yes, there has absolutely been a 5th fucking time, now he's just fucking with me.
Now I just do it to fuck with her, yeah.
And weirdly, that is a bid for connection, because I could get angry, I could like let myself be very annoyed, and I do get annoyed, but I see the humor and I see him joking, and when it happens, it's never been where I'm not in a position where I can find it funny. I go ahead and laugh at the joke too. I give him a piece of my mind submissively, sure. But those moments become connective moments.
Yeah.
Bids for connection are huge, 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 huge for staying connected and reconnecting.
Yeah. I'm just going to say, Tayshu called it the Columbo effect.
Oh, one more thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you like to do that, too. Mm-hmm. You'll go, and one more thing. I'm like...
That might be where I got it from.
Maybe it was. So we've communicated. Please communicate about your conflict or stress. Here's the thing. I said it at the top. I don't think we dived into it. Sometimes the communication... We tend to do the communication after the fact, after the problem has occurred. And of course we should. Of course. But to... minimize a disconnect to the best of our abilities, it's going to happen. If there's a thing coming up in your life that's going to keep you busy, or there's a thing going on that stresses you out, or maybe you know how your body is and you know what flare-ups are, and the more, depending on the relationship and the state of the relationship and how intimate y'all have become and how far along in this relationship you are, the more you can communicate ahead of time about what you know is coming, could come, will definitely at some point happen, but you don't have a specific date, the better. Because I know for me, and I'm not alone in this, a lot of it is feeling like something came out of nowhere. Feeling like I was sort of, on the back end of something and I'm clueless and I don't know what's going on. And what folks do, not all, but some like me, I know, you fill in the blank of what you think is happening, or you think of why something's happening or what it means, because you don't have information. If you are far enough along in the relationship where that kind of trust is there, say something ahead of time. Long distance relationships, we tell you to do this all the time. If you know work is going to kick your fucking ass and your whole communication schedule is out the window, you better talk about it as the moment you can. The moment you know that the schedule shifted or the trip is coming up or the meeting or the event or the whatever it is, right? Because a lot of the time, I don't think it'll take away all disconnect, but it takes away the uncertainty that comes with it of what the hell is going on, right? So when we say communicate, yeah, after the fact, of course, what the hell happened? Why are we disconnected? Do we need to resolve conflict? Blah, blah, blah. Did I handle stress badly? But before, for things that are outside of your control, but that you know are coming. You're not supposed to, like, be a mind reader and know shit's coming, but stuff that you can see on the horizon, because this is your life you've been living, and you know what happens in your life, right? So communicate, bids for connection, and then, this is the one I like, and it does work for us to reconnect. And whatever it will look like for other people is absolutely about your personalities and how y'all mesh together in a relationship, but get silly and have fun together. That can be kinky fun. Maybe y'all go scene, and we have done that. He has beat my ass, and I'm like, oh yeah, yep, I know who I belong to now, and I feel very reconnected. Sometimes it's dumb shit, like those fucking questions, silly questions we were answering a few weeks ago. Like, and that is part of the love map thing of how well do you know your partner? Because the better you know your partner, then the more connected you are. I feel like I'm that person that on my board back here, I got all these red strings coming back, and it all comes back to connection. Maybe it all does. I don't know. But yeah, as soon as we can, once we've both admitted that there's a disconnect, we're trying to make the other person laugh. Yeah. We're being silly. Yeah. We're being goofy. And yeah, that it might sound weird that you're going to be silly intentionally, like with a purpose in mind. But, you know, when I'm silly outside of needing to reconnect, I'm doing it so somebody will laugh, even if that somebody is me. That is being silly with intention. I don't see what the difference is, quite frankly. You do have to know each other's humor for that. I have a feeling that one is probably easier for longer term relationships or where people are really close, even if you haven't been in your power exchange for a long time. You just know each other because you got to know each other's humor and what will make the other person laugh. We get goofy. We get ridiculous with it. JB's cracking jokes. I'm being very sassy, respectfully.
There are times she has me laughing so hard I'm about to cry.
You know, the times I get you laughing like that, I don't plan for those moments. I just kind of... And so here's... Something that happens with me sometimes is I'll do a thing that I am very well aware that, one, I would probably never do publicly. It's not a bad thing. It's just like I was real relaxed. Or if I did do where somebody else could see it, I would pretend I didn't, or I would explain it away, or I'd have a response that is not my genuine response. So what happens in those situations, it's typically when I have Zoomies at night and we're trying to go to sleep, I'll just say or do something so ridiculous. And instead of hiding it, and instead of minimizing it and acting like it was nothing, I just will roll with it. And that's not even a conscious choice. The rolling with it is a conscious choice. The knowing it's going to make you laugh so hard you're about to pee yourself, I never think of that. I just go, well, this will be funny. And that's what ends up happening. So it is and it is not intentional, if that makes any sense. Like, I just go, yeah, fuck it. It's ends up being the mantra. Fuck it, just roll with it. Now, I know you kind of wish I could be like that where other people could see me. I don't know if there are enough edibles for me to be like that and be upright at the same time.
Because I can't tell anybody what you're like because they wouldn't believe me.
Well, I also think that if you tried to describe it, you would just sound like the crazy person.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I am off the wall once we get to... I am as the silliest I am capable of being at that point. Not always, not often, but man, when it happens.
She knows she really got me if she hears me snort.
because you'll snort if I snort. And once we're both snorting back and forth at one another, the silliness, the laughter, if you've got it in your relationship, it can be dark fucking humor. It can be humor that nobody else fucking gets. It can be shit that would probably get you arrested if you did it in public. It doesn't matter. It's whatever works within the relationship with the people involved.
Mm-hmm.
Because some of the best sleep I get at night is when the last thing we do before we roll over to go to sleep is laugh until we have cried. And then the next morning, it is easier to get up. We are so fucking lovey-dovey. It's disgusting. Like, there was a time when we were just super cute to the internet. We are now crusty, crotchety, annoyed old people. I don't think we come across as cute at all. I'm not mad about that. That was being perceived at too high of a level for different sides of the internet to call us cute. It was just too much. But in the mornings after those kinds of evenings, when we've gone to sleep like that, oh, we are so fucking lovey-dovey, disgustingly cute. I would make myself gag if I had to watch it from anybody else. I'd be like, what? No, thank you. And so I'm just saying, whatever it is that gets you and your partner rolling and laughing and having a good time, lean the fuck into that to the extent that you can as you're reconnecting. The more you can do it naturally and in an authentic way outside of these moments, the easier it is to stay connected. But we're all human and life's gonna fucking life, right? And so you're gonna have these times when everything was rolling good, like the power exchange was good and life was not terrible and you were just getting stuff done and making shit happen and life was just rock and roll and smooth, and then you'll get a bump. You'll get a moment where, and it can sometimes just be a blip. It'll be a moment where we're annoyed at one another out of fucking nowhere, usually over something stupid, and that can be the crack that starts a disconnect. The other time is you just get busy. It's good, and I want to do an episode on the importance of partners having separate interests outside of one another, because it is way too easy to become way too enmeshed in one another. Ask me how I know. But there's a line there between doing things separately, having outside interests that you then come back together and talk about and connect over, right, through bids for connection, versus you are now on parallel paths and you're never crossing over, you're never interacting, you're in your own head, in your own world, doing your own thing, that there's so much disconnect that can happen there. So lines of communication always. Bids for connection, throw them out and catch them when your partner throws them at you, right? It's more meaningful, I think, than you know. Once I started recognizing it and could go, oh, that's a bid for connection, or I don't think about when I do it, I'm just interacting with you, and you know me, I'm obsessed with you. I want to tell you everything. I don't have any cool rocks, I'm so sorry. But yeah, I lost it. God damn it, I lost it. It was right there. I'm sure it was a brilliant fucking thought, too. I lost it.
I hate when that happens.
No, okay. So I don't think about, oh, I'm putting out a bid for connection when I do it to you. Because, like I said, I'm obsessed. I just want to talk to you. But I make myself aware, and I try to think about it when I recognize you doing it to me. Part of it is because, sure, nobody's noticed, I can suck up all the oxygen in a room, right? I got something to say. I got something to do. I'm going to try to be silly and make somebody laugh. JB is quieter with it. JB is like, he can be off in his own world doing his own thing happily. And I'm happy doing my thing, but that's my person. If I could get inside him like a baby kangaroo, I would. Less like a alien body snatching situation, only because I don't like body fluids. But I don't want to wear him like a skin suit, because then he's not. Y'all get it. He's like, somebody out there gets what I'm saying, okay? It's fine if it's only one person. He is quieter about that. He doesn't have to come throw a bid for connection at me all the time, because I am bombarding him, okay? So I am more aware when he does it to me. I'm not thinking about it as, oh, this is a bid for connection when I do it to him. But when he does it to me, I'm like, pay attention, fucking pay attention. And I can't remember what was going on recently. I was not happy. I was stressed. I was something. And next thing I know, JB is, every time he walks past me, he's touching me just a little bit in a loving way. You know, there's the hand here, there's the hand there, there's the kiss on the forehead. Oh, I'm a sucker for forehead kisses. These little things, and as they're happening, I'm not watching you come at me with pursed lips going, this is a bid for connection. I'm not doing that. I'm weird, but I'm not that fucking weird. But after the fact, I'm like, oh, that was really sweet. Oh, that made me feel better. Oh, that was a bid for connection. Because I am a dork for this shit, okay? So what I'm telling, the whole point of that tirade is that if the bids for connection thing resonates, pay attention when you see your partner doing it, when you realize what they've done. Think about it in those terms, because I say that because when they throw that bid out at you, your job is to catch it and respond in some meaningful way. Yeah. Meaningful does not mean necessarily big production. It doesn't mean lots of effort. It can be just acknowledging a little bit, smiling back at them, answering their question to the extent that you can, like whatever it is. That is what I mean. So, I'm very hot. Very hot. In the live chat, Freckled Awesomeness says, I wish I could be the person who tells their partner everything like that. Inner demons and mean brains stop me. Let me promise you, I did not enter this relationship like this.
No.
This was years in the making. Years. And for some people, you would need longer to maybe do it naturally. If you have access to something like therapy that can help, I highly encourage that. But it is years in the making. The way I am with JB now, we've known each other since the very end of 2012. How does math work? Not like 13 and a half years, I think, is kind of what we're getting close to ish. Mm-hmm. Say 13 years. The way I am now, I wasn't like this even 5 or 6 years ago.
No.
Like every year I get a little more unhinged because I feel a little bit safer. Because what happens is I did the first small scary thing of said one thing and he accepted it, right? And he continued to be who he'd always been. And then at some other point I did the next thing that was scary. And scary is subjective, of course. Sometimes it's saying what you really think. Sometimes it's letting your silly, goofy side out. JB is the one. We're going to get to this when we do the neurodivergency series. It is happening. I am working on it. JB has lived through me unmasking, and this man deserved some hazard pay for that because he watched me look like I was a completely different person. Now, he sees, probably watches the mask come right back on the moment I gotta leave the damn house, because I am a completely different person from that to how I am at home. But we had hard conversations where he was like, what happened? I mean, those are the words. What happened to you? You used to be able to fill in the blank with a thing. And that was a whole journey that'll come out when we do that episode, because we will be doing that episode. So there were years where little by little I let my real self start to show, and then now I live a life where it's actually very uncomfortable to mask, but I definitely do, because the real world, no, don't like her. But yeah, I mean, so the person he got was just I don't know. Was this a different shade of the person he's got now? I don't know. I don't know what the metaphor is for that, but so yeah.
Different facet.
Something. Toner ran out of ink. I don't know. I don't know. So for those of you who might feel the way Freckled Awesomeness says, it's a forever and ever thing, and it's a safety thing. And you start very small with things that feel big in the moment, and you'll look back like, oh, like probably the first time I let you hear me snort when I was laughing was one of those silly moments that were a little scary. The serious moments are like when we have a big hard conversation, right? Or I confess a thought I was having that I probably would never have told another partner. Shit, the first time I as a submissive had to tell my daddy dom that he pissed me off, I didn't say it like that, but we know what I meant. That was tough. That was hard. That was terrifying. And he handled it as the person he has always been. And I learned, to his detriment in that moment, that it was safe for me to say, you done pissed me off.
If I only knew.
Right?
If I only knew.
So, for anybody else who might feel like Freckle Dawson missed it, just know it is possible. It's not a fast or necessarily an easy thing.
True.
So there we are.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you would add
Mm-mm.
to reconnecting, disconnect, reconnect, bids for connection? How many different ways can I say connect? Connecticut. I always don't remember how to spell Connecticut. That is. That's how I remember how to spell Connecticut. It's got connect right there. Anyway. We can do a bonus section now.
Okay. So, are we good?
I have no fucking clue.
Keep it kinky, y'all.
And we'll see you next week for something else unhinged. Daddy.
Yes, baby girl.
Can we talk to the crickets?
Sure.
Okay, I need to sip some of my Diet Coke.
You're doing a lot of talking.
I know, you know how I feel about some of these
I know.
topics.
I know.
Especially the ones that come to me at 11 o'clock at night while I'm falling asleep. I was just real excited I fucking remembered it in the morning. I was so proud of me for remembering it in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I think the stupid walks for my stupid mental health that I've been taking are actually doing their
Helping.
job, which is so fucking annoying. Why do people have to be right about that? What do you mean? Reading every book that I can find and obsessively scrolling Instagram reels is not what makes you feel better. And what do you mean?
Well, I'm going out walking several days a week. Mm-hmm. I'm back at the gym.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I've noticed a difference myself, even so.
Yeah, I mean, I obsess over you, so I feel like I notice everything. And to me, you have seemed more tired recently.
I am. I think I'm going through a shift. Like I kind of explained before, because there was a reason I was waking up
Yeah.
through the night.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I think you're right. I agree with you on that.
And I think my body has just become... It had gone on for long enough that my body is just like, hey, wake up. Hey, wake
this
up.
is what we do.
Yeah, this is what we do.
Yeah.
Yep. So...
Yeah, our thing for our Patreon behind the scenes podcast, that's if you sign up for a Patreon, paid member, $2 a month, blah, 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 you can get that. Last year, the focus of those episodes was on how we were reconnecting in our power exchange.
Mm-hmm.
And this year, that's technically the focus, but the real focus is what we're doing for ourselves as individuals that will help us be better in our power exchange. And JB's been like, not always like, because that's what you wanted to do, but he's doing a lot of shit, like checking shit off the list of like, okay, this part of my health, this part of my health, this part of my health.
Yeah.
So, and I'm over here like, I guess I'll go on a fucking walk.
And you know, the funny thing is, her and I, we cannot walk together.
No, we have tried. Anybody who remembers the 5 a.m. in the middle of the summer walks, we try.
Yeah.
It is.
We both have such different styles of walking.
And we need different things to like enjoy the walk. Mm-hmm. Yes, and we walk at completely different paces.
Yeah.
I think his legs are shorter than mine, but I promise you, he is boom, gone, and I'm over here like, oh shit.
I've had to make up for it all, all my life, chasing after everybody. God damn it.
Look, I love that you are our short king, okay? I think it's fucking amazing, but also, yeah, I get that. Those long-legged people, they just don't care. They're not worried about anybody keeping up with them.
They're gone. They're gone, man. Them strides, them. Woo.
Eat up the ground.
Yep.
Yeah. So, We do. We walk separately.
Mm-hmm.
We work out separately. I don't like to be perceived when I'm doing many things, but those physical things like that are no. I don't look at me. Don't know that I exist. I don't like it when JB perceives me while I'm folding the fucking laundry. And
Yeah.
so, yeah. I mean, there are things I would like to do where I'm not in a position to do them. I'm hoping that can change at some point. But yeah, we're each, so we're individually taking care of our health, mental, physical, whatever. As individuals, we are there for one another when we need to be. So like I go to most of your doctor's appointments. When I have doctor's appointments, JB, the only one JB doesn't go to is the gynecologist, which he could. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, I have her go to my appointments for a reason.
Well, we're both each other's emotional support spouses.
Right.
Our blood pressure is better when the other one's in the room with us.
Yeah, but I, you know, myself sometimes when I'm in a situation like that, listening to doctor talk, I catch only, you know, every other phrase, every other sentence.
Especially before your hearing aids.
Yeah.
And also you'll forget some of your symptoms. And I learned this with the kids when I take them to the doctor as they've gotten older. Like when they're little, you as the adult speak for them because they're too little for that. But as they get older, doctors start trying to talk to the kid to get them to like whatever. And I had to learn at that stage to let them say as much as they can and only interfere when the information is not forthcoming, which is a lot for the youngest. She's gotten a whole hell of a lot better.
Yeah.
But so I'm good at sitting back and not saying much in the office when he is there for a doctor. And because I know I get the vibe from some of the doctors, they are waiting for the wife to go, well, his date of birth is this and his this is this. And I do know that information, but he is a capable human being. He can speak for his fucking self. But then there'll be this me with this like tone going, oh, and don't forget this symptom. And that'll be all I say. And then I come back to and they're like, oh, and he goes, oh yeah. I'm like, yeah. And then that's when I catch the doctor's eye. Like, that's why I'm here. Okay. I'm not here to talk for him, but to fill in the blanks.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, yeah. So yeah, that's all of this is happening because it needs to happen physically. JB needed to go to the doctor for all of these things.
Yeah.
But it's very easy, especially in the American healthcare system where going to the doctor is fucking expensive and it's really hard to get to a doctor and all of that. It's not uncommon for so many of us to kind of put our health on the back burner because nobody wants to go into medical debt, right? Nobody wants to be bankrupt because went to the fucking hospital. And we have, to the extent that we can, because finances are a real issue, we have decided together and individually that to be able to show up for our business, for the kids, for each other, to the extent that we can and that we have access, we have to take care of our health. I have a goal of getting my cholesterol down, and I would love to get off blood pressure medicine. It's the smallest fucking pill I take, though. I'm like, of all the pills I take. But, like, that's just, so we're putting the focus on that, and then we're thinking of it not just in terms of we'd like to be around for a while because, you know, I'm still waiting on my super cool rock for somebody to give me. But also because we want to be able to show up in our power exchange as well as we can, as well as we're capable of.
Right.
But it is still very expensive. It's very expensive.
Yeah. But we're doing what we can.
Speaking of that, and from last week when we were talking about the kink-aware professionals, now granted, every state and country will be different. I'm speaking in terms of the U.S. because I know how the U.S. healthcare system works. I went back, and it had been ages since I'd looked for kink-aware therapists throughout the state of Florida. I've looked through the whole state now because telemed being what it is. Of the therapists that popped up, it was probably half that didn't take insurance and half that did. So, if you're in the U.S. and you have insurance, and you're like, I'm sure I can't find a kink-aware therapist who will take insurance. Double check, because it's possible.
Yeah.
We actually have like a short list that we get to go through and be like, what? Could we actually do this? Go get therapy through our insurance and then be kink-aware? Holy shit. Like, that's gold standard to me.
Yeah, that's a pie in the sky dream right there.
I know. So, but yeah. Oh, and the live chat folks are talking about who they make the appointments for, kids or partners. I had to stop making JB's appointments for him because I was so overwhelmed with all the life admin. Yeah. I was like, I love you so much. Because I used to make all his appointments for him. And I do call billing departments on his behalf. Yeah. Our family, our PCP, primary care physician, that whole office, they know my voice very well at that office, both scheduling and billing. Now I just handle billing. Which thankfully we don't have a bill with them anymore for now. Well, but I did have to kind of go, I'm going to need you to make your own appointments.
You did, because
I got too much going on.
You did, because that's especially with all the appointments I've had recently.
Yeah, there's just not enough.
And I'm very happy that's behind me now.
I know. Talking about kids needing appointments made, the oldest has gotten to the point where he makes his own appointments, but he does not make the appointments he needs. What I mean is, this child has dental insurance and vision insurance now, and health insurance. The only appointment he makes for himself, and I'm glad he does, is with his psychiatrist so that his Adderall prescription can be refilled each month. But that was probably 6 months to a year after he moved out and went to college before he would make that appointment. And he does still delay it. Like he does still delay it. Yeah. I think I will at least be walking through the 16-year-old making her own doctor's appointments when she's like in her 20s. I see that coming. I might be like, look, you're going to hold the phone and you're going to like dial and I'll tell you what to say. But we do live in this world of online portals now, and even I use those for making appointments when I can. So, part of, as I was talking about, not trying not to speak for the kids when they're in appointments so they can get the experience. The youngest and I, before every new doctor that she's not comfortable with yet, we don't know the vibe yet, I always, before we go in, I'm like, how much do you want me to talk? Like, do you want me to shut the hell up? Do you want me to, do you want me to follow the lead? Do you want me to just be prepared? And we have those conversations now. But as she's gotten older, her most recent doctor's appointment, brand new doctor, and she carried that conversation. It was, I added the details that were getting forgotten, but I just sat back. So confidence building is a beautiful thing.
It is.
So
that it is.
Freckled Awesomeness coming in live chat. I finally found one. I'm kink-aware therapist. First appointment next week. Congrats! Great. I hope they are a fit. I hope they're amazing for you. That's awesome. And Taishi was talking about chiropractor doesn't take insurance and he charges a flat $45 rate. I don't know what their chiropractor charges now, but when we were going to a chiropractor a few years ago, they just didn't take our insurance. They do take insurance because they also do physical therapy, but those visits were $35 a pop. The first one was $35 and everything after that was $30 or something like that. And it was relatively. You were going a couple times a week there for a while. I was going once a week for a while. We don't want to change our doctor, but the model of doctor's offices I'm kind of am really intrigued by, and we're using it for something else, is direct primary care, direct something care. It's where you pay kind of like a membership fee and a monthly amount to your doctor's office. And it doesn't go through insurance, and you just make your appointment and you don't pay for the appointment because you've paid the monthly membership fee or subscription fee or whatever it's called. You might have to you'll have to pay for labs, you might have to pay if you have to go to another kind of doctor, that's amazing because the good ones, the fee's not too freaking crazy. You get longer time with your doctor. The situation we were in with that kind of direct primary, I think it's direct primary care, is what it's called. We had an hour in there with that doctor. Now, it was as a new patient, a whole new thing. We had a lot to go over. But that was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
The only reason we get 30 minutes with our primary care is because they schedule us together back to back. So we just overlap one another and take our whole 30 minutes. So yeah, if we didn't have insurance or if we did not love our primary care, I would 100% look into that. Because the only hard part is when you're a couple and you're paying for this person, you're paying for that person, whatever. But
Yeah.
it doesn't mean you don't still need insurance, because for big stuff or specialists, probably, you would. But it's an intriguing model.
It is.
So.
I
Anyway.
mean, I had an understanding too that a number of years ago, I had heard that a lot of therapists and whatnot were leaving these bigger companies because they felt that they were too hobbled by the insurance.
Oh yeah. I see a lot of people online talking about that.
Yeah, and they've open up their own practice. They don't take insurance. They're a little, but
not all, obviously, but
Yeah.
many offer sliding fee, sliding scale fee. I can't remember what the term is, but basically they have their amount, and then you can be like, it's possible to get a discount for being broke. That's how we were able to get the youngest into therapy when we did. We were, oh my God, broke as a fucking joke. My mom gave me the money for the youngest, first 6 months of therapy, and that's how we started. And then by the time she was in, we've figured it all out of how we could do it. But yeah. And that was with a discount. Their normal fee was $100 and some odd a session, and we got it down to 80. I don't know. But yeah. So insurance sucks.
You can.
Healthcare when it's good, it's great. Healthcare when it's not, man, that shit sucks too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to find a new dentist's office and a new gynecologist. I still haven't done that, and I need to do it before my prescriptions start running out.
Yeah.
It took 2-3 years to get stable on hormone replacement therapy. I am not fucking this up.
Yeah.
But so
Yeah.
anyway.
Anywho, probably should go.
Yeah, probably should. I got to work on dinner.
Yeah.
It's in the crock pot, and I need to do the last step for the last hour of cooking.
And it's almost time for me to feed the fur babies too.
They have not started crying as if they're starving yet.
No,
so,
not
hey,
yet. Not yet. So that's a plus.
We should go before they start.
Yeah.
What we should do,
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I have to say I'm very grateful for the fan.
Yeah.
It's not sweltering in here now.
No.
Okay. I guess we'll go. Thank y'all for being here.
Yep.
Especially to the bitter end. Especially for the most random part of the
the whole thing.
We appreciate you. We love our crickets. We will see y'all next week. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.